You know, here at Production Notes, we like to have fun and take an offbeat approach to delivering information. We also enjoy getting feedback and reading the comments that are posted each week. But every once in a while, a comment comes along that just kind of tugs at the old heartstrings, like this one from Andrei Razumov.
Perry, I like your clips very much, but you promised last time you will talk about turntable in your next clip. Anyway, good job, Andrei Razumov.
Well, Andre, you're right. In the episode 1 turntable and a microphone, I did make mention to showing you how to create your own turntable, but I didn't say when I was going to do that, but that's not important. What is important, Andre, is that you've inspired me to get off my butt and reveal the secrets to building an inexpensive turntable that you can use in your productions. In this, a very special episode of Production Notes. Contrary to what you might think about the man in this photo, he really does smile. How is this man relevant, you ask? Well, he happens to be directly responsible for me coming up with this turntable design. His name is Viv Beeson, and he's the president here at Digital Juice. You see, when I came aboard here about 2 years ago, my primary responsibility was to shoot stock footage. To make a long story short, we ended up needing a turntable to make some tabletop items just look a little bit cooler. So of course I said, we don't need no fancy-dancy thing. I'll show you how resourceful I can be and do this thing on the cheap. Well, okay, Perry, just don't screw me, he says. So, with the fear of screwing over my new boss, I was on the search for a cheap but effective turntable. Now back then, I found out the hard way that there are a lot of items out there that resemble a turntable. You think they might work, like this microwave wind-em-up Lazy Susan. Well, old Susan had me fooled into thinking that for about 20 bucks, I could pick one of these up and my problem was solved. Well, nevertheless, as soon as you get any significant weight on old Susan, well, she just kind of clunks along. Now I know why they call her lazy. All right, then it was on to the old turntable of all turntables, or an actual record player. This had to work, right? Well, it turns out that it's better than spinning vinyl than any items I can actually shoot. See, it either goes way too fast or way too slow, and it doesn't have the torque necessary to move an item that even weighs a pound. Okay, so it was back to the drawing board for me, right? Well, not wanting to throw in the towel just yet, I decided to go to the one place that could give me the inspiration that I need to build such a thing, my local home Megamart. Okay, so for starters, you need to get down to your local home Megamart and pick yourself up a round piece of wood. I found this as a part of a package deal that comes with a couple of legs that attach right to it. I guess it makes some kind of a cheap end table or something. You need one of those, and you need to pick yourself up some Lazy Susan guts, which is basically a metal plate that kind of spins on top of another metal plate. Gotta have that. Pick yourself up the cheapest piece of 2 foot by 2 foot wood you can find. This happens to be a little piece of fiberboard, and I got it pre-cut, so I don't have to worry about it once I got back here. You're gonna need a couple scrap pieces of 2 by 4, about 1 foot in length, roughly, some glue, and you're ready to rock and roll, or spin. Oh, so you're probably wondering in great anticipation, like our dear friend Andre, well, what's the motor? What spins it? Well, folks, it's time to play.
What's that thing?
Something with a motor that spins.
A fan.
No, it spins with some torque, with some weight on it.
Record player.
It spins at a constant speed in both directions.
A hamster. A washing machine. Ah!
It spins over low heat and it slowly puts a kick or other means.
Rotisserie. Yeah! Ah, woo!
Well, okay. So beneath our lid here is just a basic rotisserie motor that you can pick up for just about 20 bucks. They come in various sizes, and what's cool about this one is it'll spin up to a 15-pound carcass of your choice in either direction. Now granted, 15 pounds may not sound like a lot, but I've probably spun up to about, I don't know, 100 different items on this very turntable. Just look at our video tracks library if you need any proof or if you're looking for a little inspiration. Well, now that we have all of our ingredients, let's assemble this baby. Okay, so for starters, we need to take off the little bracket that came on our little table, push that off the side, and we're going to go ahead and save the screws that came with this. We'll use those later. And as always, when working with power tools and cutting wood, make sure you have some approved safety goggles. Let's get to work now. For starters, find the center of that round table. This may take you a couple times, it did me, but it's important to find exact center. And also find center on the square piece of wood. Now, drill a 1/2 inch hole all the way through the square piece of wood and drill a 5/16 inch hole about halfway into the round piece of wood. Now this next part is fairly crucial because we want to get an exact measurement so we can cut our rotisserie blade that came with the motor. We need it long enough so it'll extend from the motor up through the base plate and into the round turntable portion. I think this one ended up being about, let's see here. 3 1/4 inches. But that's not going to be the same for our wood that we're working on over there because it's a little thinner than this wood here. Once we get that exact measurement, we'll go ahead and hack this off with a hacksaw. Okay, back here at our workbench, we need to mount our Lazy Susan to the square base. So I'm going to go ahead and pre-drill a couple holes for that first, and then take our screws that we took off the bracket from our table, and I'm going to use those to mount the Lazy Susan. So I'll just go ahead and screw this like so, and like so. Good, that's secured and it's spinning smoothly. Excellent. Next step. Put a little dabble of glue into the hole that we drilled halfway into the round table portion of our turntable. And then we're going to take the rotisserie blade that we cut down to 2 3/4 inch, and it's going to be a tight fit, so we just want to pound that in a little bit with a hammer. Don't go all the way through the turntable though. Next, grab some 2x4s for the base, actually little stands for the base. Place your rotisserie motor into the center, and grab your base board with the Lazy Susan on it and try to line up that hole over the rotisserie motor. Then take your round turntable portion and slide it into the turntable itself or into the rotisserie motor, and bingo, you've got yourself a turntable. Let's recap, shall we? Okay, remember to find center on both pieces of wood and drill a hole all the way through the square piece of wood and only halfway into the round turntable portion. Hack down your rotisserie blade to 2 3/4 inch and then mount your Lazy Susan to the square piece of wood. Now go ahead and set up your 2x4s, get the rotisserie motor underneath, and assemble your turntable as we discussed. I'll go ahead and set up a light here and a bounce card for our picture of Viv. And there you have it, a very useful turntable you can use in your productions. So there you have it. You can assemble a turntable like this one for just under 50 bucks. If you have a Billy, like I do, you can make one that'll even spin people. Sorry, Andre, that'll have to be an episode for an entirely different show, like The Billy Show or something like that. Well, that's it for this week. Thanks a lot for watching. Good luck. All right, Jenkins. You better not screw me.